All right, everybody, welcome to SPOCast. How's it going? We are on episode 3 of season 3. I'm Johnny Cashmere here, still in a season of death. Let's bring in your host. First of all, here he is, Philip Stamper. What's up, brother?
Yo.
And let's get in Donnie B. What's up, my man?
What up, folks? The season of death continues. This is a long season of death. I feel like
it's killing me, guys.
Dying forever.
Not,
yeah, I can see that.
I'm not gonna lie.
Downtrodden.
It's definitely killing me. Let me get in real quick here. JP, what's up, my brother?
Oh, we back, bro. What up?
Tommy Grayson. So, guys, and let's get in. There he is. Bristow, what's up? All 6 of us are here. All right, the Southern 6, if you will. But, guys, listen, before we start the episode, and welcome everyone in the chat, start putting some things in the chat as to what you want to hear us talk about. But before we get into anything, we have a very special guest. I just want to talk to you guys about something that happened this past week on Kevin Nash's Click This podcast. Let's get him in here, you guys. Dwayne GILLBERG, what's up, brother?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Hey.
Holy shit, GILLBERG, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, guys? How is everything?
Good to see you, sir.
Better now.
Hey, hello.
Good to have you, brother. So out of nowhere, I get a call today from Ruckus. He says, GILLBERG wants to talk to you. So I talked to GILLBERG. Just some misunderstanding BS happened on the podcast with Kevin Nash, where Violent J from Insane Clown Posse and Juggalo Championship Wrestling, I guess he just got his facts wrong or said some things wrong. I have no idea. But he basically said that maybe you had something to do with an incident that happened at James Ellsworth's event last month, and obviously you had nothing to do with it, which I completely explained. And Violent J has nothing but love for you, Dwayne Gill.
Yeah,
so that's all good.
Jay is super cool and awesome guy. I mean, like I say, there's no beef, no hassle, no nothing, man. It was just a mix-up. And what was said was he came to a show, and things weren't done the way that I guess he agreed to do them. You know what I mean? And Jay doesn't do autograph sessions and sit around and do meet and greets. He just doesn't do it. He'll come out and do the show, but he doesn't do meet and greets. And
Right.
He was talking to Kevin about an incident that happened on the show where he ended up doing a whole bunch of meet and greets and didn't want to, and he was kind of put out there, and then the line kept getting longer and longer and longer, and he was out there for an hour, and you know him. That's it. I'm done. I got to go. So he came through, and the whole time he was out there, I kept saying, you got to get him in here, brother. He's going to leave. He doesn't do this stuff, man. He does not do this. You've got to get him back in here. Well, sure enough, here comes the door. Boom, I'm out of here. Give my money to Bingo Bang, what the other clown that hangs out with him. And he said, give my money to him. I'm out of here. And he left. Well, he was on Kevin's podcast, and he said he was on a show of a Goldberg lookalike, but he's a little older and a little more feeble, and then they put up a picture of me. Brother, I haven't promoted a show in 20 years. I don't have anything to do with it. I was on the show free myself because he has a tag team that works for him called the New Age Job Squad. And they're good kids. So if I go out with them, it gives them a little notoriety and gives them a little push. You know what I mean? So that's what I was doing. I was on the show free myself, everything. I had nothing to do with the promotion, nothing to do with anything. And when he was telling his story, he said it as it was GILLBERG's promotion, and GILLBERG brought him in. And no, sir. Jay, I'm sorry, brother. But I didn't. That wasn't what happened, bro.
And, he knows better, Gil. He knows better. He knows that that's not the case. So he said he loves GILLBERG. I tried to get him on here, but unfortunately he's got something that he couldn't get out of right now.
He's a busy man, brother. He's a busy man.
Gil, let me tell you something, man. He's attached to the wrestling business with his heart, not his mind. I've seen firsthand that he's got this certain communion, a certain creativity, a certain spark inside of him with the wrestling business.
Awesome, brother. He's awesome.
That's the thing. I even trust him with the BackSeat brand. I don't trust many people with a brand, but how can you not trust Violent J with a brand? Look what he's done with his own.
Exactly.
Multiple.
Come on, brother. He ain't no dum-dum. That's for damn sure.
Nah, but dude, everybody loves you, GILLBERG. Donnie, does everyone love GILLBERG or what?
I've always loved Dwayne. Pleasure to work with back in the Dennis days. I had him in the main event of a couple of my shows against Rick Ratchet. Just a super good dude. Never had one bad thing to say about him. Never complained in a locker room. Was more than generous with his time. Stayed around and shook every hand and signed every autograph. Not 1 second did I ever see Dwayne Gill be a problem in any way, shape, or form in the business, and I always loved my time around him.
And brother, that's the way I want to be remembered. You know how nasty this business can be. And you got to go out of your way to be nice to everybody and everything. And that's what I try to do. I try to, when I go, I want them to say, he was a cool dude, man. I liked him. And that's the way I want it. I don't want no bad stuff, and that's the whole reason I asked to come on here, to just clear the air and let everybody know, I swear, guys, I never ripped nobody off or nothing like that, man.
Nah, you're a good brother, man. Like I said, one of the best times I ever had was the Maryland Christmas party back in like 01, 02, I think. So, bro, I mean, you were the man back then. You're still the man. Thanks for coming on, man.
No, thank you guys for having me on there.
Thank you.
I started
Absolutely.
Maryland Championship Wrestling back in 1990, January.
That's right.
90.
Jeez.
And then, but Danny, who owns it now, went to my school, and then Barry and I got on the road, and I couldn't run the school no more, so I had to shut the school down. Well, then that's when he started Bone Breakers, him and Mark Schrader. And he said, Dwayne, you mind if I use MCW? I'd like to have I said, go for it, brother. And look what he's done with it. My God, man.
It's incredible.
He's that far from being like the third promotion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He really is. He's doing unbelievable things, man. And I couldn't be any prouder of the guy,
Very good.
It's
awesome.
funny, GILLBERG. We're talking about that for weeks on here. Like, if you've been following our SPOCast, the podcast, which I know you haven't, don't get me wrong. Donnie talks about MCW constantly. We talk about Mark Schrader. We talk about Danny. We talk about all the good old days, and we talk about how it is a cut above the rest. And now you come on and say the exact same thing. So makes us look like we know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, you really do. You really. And Donnie's awesome, brother, man. We go way back. We used to have a lot of fun, man.
Yes, we did.
I mean,
always a gentleman.
And the fact you have the general manager of MCW right here, I'm just saying, propping up.
Oh, that's true. That didn't even dawn on me. You're right. Shit, you're right. Yeah, the MCW is great. Well run. The GM's a little lame, but other than that, it's great.
I agree with you.
Phil had to.
Do you want to come back, GILLBERG? I'm just.
Yeah, we'd love to have him on again.
Now you bring me in for a show because we're gonna beat the hell out of you.
Tommy Grayson might.
Nah, hey, you got. I mean,
Hell yeah.
He's awesome, man. I mean, he is great. I love Dan. I love they're all good guys, and I love Ellsworth and ACW and all too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying nothing bad. It was just a mistake that was made, and my name got put where somebody else's should have been, and I just wanted to set the record straight because, like I say, I like to keep my name spotless on in the business.
Well, thank you for that.
Anything you want to plug? Do you have social media? Any upcoming events? Anything you want to plug before you're out of here?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yes. Oh geez.
Like the Jeopardy wait theme is playing in my brain right now.
Wait a minute.
Here,
let's put up his gimmick on.
The first
look at that.
figure, brother, right there.
Oh,
Wow.
Nice.
Right there.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I love it. And hopefully in December, the video game will be coming out that I'll be on.
Oh.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
And maybe you can come back on and tell us about it.
Yes.
It's the Wrestling Code. I'm sure
Okay.
about it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I heard about this.
Bro, he's been busting his tail. It's gonna be unbelievable. It really is. The graphics are awesome. He's hoping to get it out before Christmas this year.
Oh,
All
wow.
right.
Yeah, this is years in the making. I heard about it.
It is, man. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's an awesome game.
You have an open invitation, brother. Come on here any week to plug it, talk about it, or anything. You're
Hey.
welcome, man. You're great.
Anytime you need anybody, man, you just call me. I
Thank you.
love doing podcasts, man. I really do.
All right.
Thank you,
Tuesday
sir.
nights.
Thank you, GILLBERG.
You got it, brother. Hey,
All my best.
very, very much for throwing me in there real quick to straighten this up. And please tell Jay, man, love him to death, man.
Always.
Back at you, brother.
Yeah,
Always.
Johnny, take care of that.
All right, you take care.
Have a good one, bro.
You know.
Awesome. Oh, man, what a great
was
guy,
good.
right?
For
We
sure.
need some sound effects, yeah. Sound effects. Where are
Yeah,
you?
man. All right, so there you go. Thanks, guys. You know, you
That was like,
sometimes
I didn't
you
want to
gotta-
interrupt Gilberg.
As a
Sometimes-
shoot, legit, he was super easy to deal with back in the day. Like I literally had him on the main event of a Tom Zuber show. We had 1,200 people. The main event was GILLBERG versus Rick Ratchet. That was the
Wow,
main event,
Jesus.
and it was awesome, dude. It's stuff you couldn't do today with a pride flag and all this other stuff. But it was great, man. It was so much fun. GILLBERG was great.
And now that he's not here, we can tell the truth. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, good dude. Easy to deal with.
No, that's awesome, man. You know,
Yep.
former light heavyweight champion, impromptu on the SPOCast.
Yeah,
The
bro,
longest
never know.
reigning light heavyweight champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. I love, and when he said, "I'll be right back," I love that. That could have been.
Getting a gimmick, yeah.
How about his house,
I-
you guys? He lives in a nice, upstanding house.
I like to
you
see
know?
that. Good. He looks like in good shape. He's alive and well. You
Mhm.
know, I think he works for the school system in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. But just another good older guy who's successful in life and seems happy. I love that so much more than the curmudgeons that come around every now and then.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yep,
Right on.
exactly. He's definitely an OG though. What's that scraping sound? Someone eating the water.
That's my
ice?
mouse. That's my mouse.
Oh, Delco.
Bible?
I was like,
Yeah.
is somebody,
But I-
you said old curmudgeon. I'm like, is that somebody like crawling out of a coffin, like screaming?
Sadi. We were going to talk about Sid, so maybe it's Sadi crawling out of the grave.
But guys, so we got tickets on sale already for the next two events. But guys, we want to talk about the gathering. That's what we're all here for. The gathering of the SPOs, right? We want to talk about it. And we have a guest going to join us actually, and he's here right now. Let's bring him in, you guys. We'll
That's
let the
right.
backseats do some talking.
Hey, what up, y'all? Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
How's everybody
Welcome to the-
doing tonight?
Womp womp.
Everyone's doing great,
Right.
man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the fans and the viewers know who you are.
I'm Humble Among. I do a Juggalo YouTube channel. I'm a Juggalo journalist, a rap performer, just a Juggalo, you know. I do these gathering documentaries and shit. Some people seem to like them. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm a wrestling mark, wrestling fan. So I'm really excited to be on here with y'all. It's fucking crazy. GILLBERG was just fucking on here, dog. I didn't know that was gonna be happening here. Like, it's fucking wild. Like,
Yeah.
that's fucking wild to me. Like, I grew up watching the GILLBERG bits like live on Raw and shit. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You guys don't realize he was doing TV enhancement work with Nova and Ace and Darling and all them when he was Dwayne Hardy. It was Dwayne Gill and Barry Hardy. They
Yeah,
were
I remember those
underneath
clips.
guys. Yeah, that's how long ago I knew him. Years before GILLBERG. But super nice dude. Could not be nicer. Worked tons of shows. Never cared what you paid him. Just a super great guy. So
Yeah, that
In
was
my
rad.
opinion, he's
That
a
was so
winner.
rad to see.
yeah, you never know what you're gonna get here on the SPOcast, my friend.
Yeah, facts.
Well, speaking of the SPOcast, Humble, we first got acquainted because you did what I referred to as investigative journalism right after we had Violent J on. And
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest hit that the SPOcast had at the time, just because, you know, your journalism made it so that, you know, every Juggalo knew to go and check out the SPOcast. So that's what led me to your channel. Obviously, I believe the ICP Iceberg video, which,
Yep.
you know, we could talk about, you know, later on and stuff. I think that's been what you call your crown jewel of the channel and stuff. But, you know, big fan of what you do and all the journalistic integrity that you put into your channel, and you really work your ass off at making your content watchable and viewable. So, you know, just thank you for coming on, man. And, you know, just I want to hear about, like, what was your biggest takeaway from this year's gathering, just overall?
So my biggest takeaway from this year's gathering is how the future of this Juggalodium is very strong. I spent a lot of time, not necessarily even at main stages, seeing performances. I saw a lot of campsite performances, that ones that I was a part of, or just seeing friends do things, you know. And I time, I just couldn't help but think about the whole Juggalos will carry on beat. You know what I mean? Like from way back in the Wraith days, Juggalos will carry on, and that's my biggest takeaway is how the future of this shit is so strong. Juggalos are gonna keep going with this shit for a very long time. So yeah, I think foundations are being made and still being formed for a lot of really cool shit. I mean, JCW alone, seeing this new version of this reboot of JCW, that was insane. I mean, it's the best JCW's ever been. But we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, I'm sure. But it's the best I've seen JCW ever be. These shows. So yeah, wow. It's fucking. I think the future is very strong for the Juggalodium, and I think next year's going to be fucking crazy. I think next year's going to be nuts.
It definitely seems it. Real quick, not to cut you off, but
no,
we forgot to mention, guys, the season finale tonight at 8:00 on SPO Wrestling's YouTube of Trip TV. You're going to finally see the 3 stages of death match between the BackSeat Boyz, Juggalo Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and the Rep, the SPO Wrestling Tag Team Champions. That's coming up at 8:00, guys. We got about 44 minutes. So humble among.
So
I love
make sure you wrap it up before then.
Yeah, you're on a roll, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I think I think that was perfect. I had wrapped up my thought, I think. But yeah, that was my biggest takeaway for sure. The future is so strong in the Juggalodium. I feel like a lot of people were saying that this year's gathering was a sleeper gathering or whatever. The lineup is weak and shit like that. Really, to me, it's really not about the lineup though. You know, no. Like I mean, the lineup could be. I mean, to me, the lineup wasn't weak, first of all, and it could be legit weak, and I would still have a great time with my friends and family. You know, my family. Fuck friends. It's family. Yeah. Oh, shit. What's up, Emily in the chat? We got Will in the chat. Emily's right here.
You're a draw, brother. You're a draw. Dude, you're a bigger draw than GILLBERG.
Oh my god! What a brag!
No, seriously, man.
How many gatherings have you been to, Humble?
Only 5. My first gathering is 2019. See, like, real quick, brief history. I'm like kind of what you would call a lapsed Juggalo. When the Wraith first came out, I was not about the reveal of thy unveiling. The truth is we follow God shit. I have a very complicated relationship with God, blah, 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 blah. So I took a break from the Juggalodium for a while. Then, like, I don't know, it was like creeping back into my life. And like, I had never seen ICP live. So like they were touring at the time and they came close to us. And I was like, man, I got to go see them live at least once. Like I loved them so much back in the day. I got to at least see them like one time. And when I went to go see them, they opened with Toy Box, which is like one of my favorite ICP songs of all time. Yes. If not my favorite, it might be number 1 if I made a fucking list type beat. And it felt like that whole show was like for me. Like the songs they played, the order they played them with, seeing the Fago fly, it all like came together. And I left that show being like, I think I got to go to the gathering now. I never went to the gathering. I wanted to go to the gathering so bad back in the day. I think I have to go. And so I went to my first gathering, 2000. Really, I waited a year. I kind of pussed out. I should have gone to the Whoopstock gathering, but I pussed out. I waited a year, and I watched it on YouTube a little bit, and that got some grains in my brain of like, oh shit, like this is like so fascinating to just watch Juggalos walk around the gathering. Fuck, this is so interesting. Yeah. So that put a grain in my brain of like, shit, I'm gonna go to my first gathering. I should like film that shit. And so that's what I did. I went to my first gathering. I filmed it. I edited it. I made a little documentary vlog called Shimmer Forest out of it. I uploaded that to YouTube, and that's like the first piece of really like the first piece of like Juggalo YouTube content I uploaded. And that shit went low-key viral over the last it took a little bit for it to pick up, but once Juggalos found it, it got shared like crazy. And it went, there's like over 100,000 views, probably 200,000 views. I don't even know. It went crazy though. and a lot of people started to come to my channel, and I got even more into it after seeing what the Gathering was like. It was like, I don't know, like I left that, I went into that experience being a reluctant juggalo. Like, I'm a fan of ICP. I'm not a juggalo though. I left that Gathering being like, I guess I'm a fucking juggalo. I guess I'm a fucking juggalo after all. Okay.
That was
Okay.
yeah. It took the words right out of Johnny Cashmere's mouth.
Yeah.
And I think it's that
Johnny
there's
Juggalo.
something about the Gathering where it's like, that's where a lot of it clicks. Like seeing the community, seeing how nice people are. Like that's really what sold me on it. Like, and I feel like you don't get that if you don't go. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And
Yeah.
and I painted up one of the nights, brother. I did my own gimmick and just went and walked amongst you. And by the time I was done, by the time I had finished walking amongst you, I was one of you.
I saw the pics.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that. I still haven't painted up since I was a teenager. That's something I really need to do. I need to paint up.
Oh yeah.
I
Brother,
haven't done that since I was like 14, 15 or some shit.
one of the
Me
other
too.
painted guys comes up to me and goes, "Yo, bro, how do you get your black so black?" I felt like
Jokes.
you know,
Be careful. Be careful, Phil.
That wasn't me. That was
of course
You're
it
gonna
was.
get canceled,
It
Phil.
was Bristow, of course.
I know. Humble.
Sound
I
effect will
got
get
a
you
question.
canceled.
Humble, if I may, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm 52 years old. I know who ICP is. I'm not. It wasn't really my scene. I appreciate it. I think it's cool as shit. How did you just turn on the radio one day as a young man? Like, what's the first memory you have of ever hearing anything with ICP, and how did you get hooked on it?
So I remember seeing them. I can't remember the first time I saw them, but it was like a 3-part thing. I saw the MTV thing when the Great Malenko shit happened. Then I saw them, I think, on Howard Stern, probably shortly after that. And then I saw them on Pro Wrestling. And I don't even think I heard their music. I think somewhere in between there, I heard their music. Yeah, it was definitely before I saw them on Raw. I had heard the Great Malenko. So that's basically, real quick, the first time I heard them, I was like 14. And I was hanging out with my friend. I don't know if she wants her name on here. I was hanging out with my friend, and her older sister was smoking weed in her bedroom. And it was one of those things where it's like, well, let's go see if we can convince her older sister to smoke weed with us. So we went, and like, she was cool, and she was like, yeah, come on in, let's smoke. And so we're in her bedroom, and like, she's playing the Great Malenko. I don't know it's the Great Malenko. I thought it was Cypress Hill. So I'm listening to it thinking it's Cypress Hill, and I say something stupid about being at Cypress Hill, and they're like, this ain't Cypress Hill, this is ICP. I'm like, oh shit, those guys, okay. Oh, this is kind of rad. So like, we're smoking, and I'm just listening to the Great Malenko, and I fucking song after song, I'm like, this is so fucking rad. This shit's hilarious. But then you like, see, to me, ICP is so fucking great because it's like everything I love in one thing. It's funny shit, it's wrestling, it's horror movies. It's almost like an Andy Kaufman-esque level of performance art, where they're constantly fucking with everybody. Like it's everything I love in one fucking thing. It's rap music. It's a little tinge of new metal. It's literally everything I fucking love, like in one thing. It's perfect. It's perfect for me.
Artwork. The artwork on the albums are
Yeah.
awesome. You got
Yeah,
you
the
can't
design.
forget the artwork and the design and all that, and the world building.
Yeah,
Right?
the lore, all that.
I mean, just you see a logo like this, and it's just you can't like turn your head. I think this, like in wrestling, we have what's called the airport test, and right away it's like this logo. You see this logo, and it's like bam, you pass the airport test. So ICP by default.
And Humble, talk about my world. They're a tag team, and I'm all
Right.
about tag teams. So
It's all about tag team wrestling. I think I saw you guys say that on something else. It's all about tag team wrestling. And
It is.
Yeah, it really is. They are a tag team.
They are a tag team in and out of the ring.
Yeah,
And they don't get enough credit in wrestling and music.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
you know what
think,
it is? Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Bonnie.
No, I was just gonna say, I think to me, being a little older than you guys, I would love to ask Violent J, but I would almost be willing to bet that one of their influences was Kiss, because when I think of ICP, it reminds me of when I in the late '70s when I first saw Kiss's album come out. Like I didn't know anything. I was holy shit, this is awesome. So I kind of listening to Humble. That's what it just sparked my imagination as to when I was a kid and I saw that. And with the Kiss Army and the branding and the promotion, it reminds me. I would almost be willing to bet that Violent J would say that Kiss was a big influence on that.
I can kind of answer that question because I'm such a nerd, and I know he's answered that question before. He claims no, not at all.
Really?
He claims no, but I mean, it's Detroit. Kiss is so fucking popping.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, even subliminally.
In the book, he does say it was rock bands that were coming through. I believe it was St. Andrew's Music Hall that he was working at the time. It was rock acts that were coming through, and seeing their theatrics that inspired him. But he never really name drops Kiss. He actually seems to like to diss Kiss quite a bit.
Wow.
Well, Gene Simmons in particular. I think
everybody does.
And they kind of fucking bit their shit in the 90s where they put out this album Psycho Circus, and I think that really pissed both of them off. I think they.
I was
really
there. I was I was at those concerts. Yeah, I was at Psycho Circus.
Yeah.
When I walked up to at the gathering, I walked up to Violent J and painted like this, and the first thing he said is, "You look like Gene Simmons." First thing he said. I think it's because of the red. So I'll bet you that Violent J and Shaggy did not use any red in their face because they didn't want to be mistaken for being like Gene Simmons.
Trivia there,
yeah, that's what I think. Hell yeah.
Well, I know the paint evolved over the years, and Humble, you could back me up here. When the early Carnival of Carnage days, it was very like they almost took the NWA aesthetic with the hats and the sunglasses and sort of like painted around that because they were merging from Inner City Posse to Insane Clown Posse, and the vision wasn't quite there yet. Like it really took them up until Malenko, until like the modern Dark Carnival as we know it is created, because they were still finding their sound up until Riddlebox, and then once they got that Hollywood Records, put out Malenko and got guys like Alice Cooper on, that's when they really evolved like everything into what it is.
You can see a clip of the Carnival of Carnage era footage of them on some local Detroit TV show that surfaced a couple years back with all the original three, with Shaggy Two Dope's brother Joey, John Kick Jazz. John Kick Jazz is in there rapping, and you can see the different like versions of their face paint. Like like it definitely evolved over time. The lines got sharper and then like almost bigger. Like Jay's definitely got way bigger with time. His face paints like the black is like way bigger on his paint this era. But it's been evolving this whole time slowly.
Definitely,
Shaggy's shit has stayed pretty the same for a while. Shaggy's must be like a machine with painting his face.
Well, he did both of them for the longest time, and then I think the story goes is he finally just told Joe, like, you got to learn to do your shit.
You got to learn to do this.
Yeah.
It's a completely different experience putting it on yourself as opposed to putting it on someone else, like trying to give yourself a haircut almost. It's just in the mirror it just doesn't work. I don't know, left is right and right is left, and I don't know.
There's something like seeing someone getting their face painted too. It's like there's something almost ritualistic about it. I don't know. I really like the visuals of just seeing someone getting painted up or painting up. It really feels like a ritual.
Or getting their hair braided, like I didn't paint up at the gathering, but I first opportunity I found a let, and I was like, all right, do your thing. And
you had the fresh ass braids in and shit.
I tried to. Unfortunately, my mother and my girlfriend both objectify to it, so but you got to do what you got to do when in Rome.
What was their beef with the braids?
Objectified to it.
Where's their beef is Verdi that says Mark?
Their objectification is that they like my hair au naturel.
They like the smooth flowing locks and shit.
Yeah, they think they're not down with Tommy Two Dope, but I say it's all good. It is what it is. But real quick, Humble, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to segue real quick. Johnny Cashmere, if you could pull up some visuals real quick. JP and myself have a quick little story time that we would like to segue into, if you don't mind. I'll, JP,
Damn,
I'll
man.
allow you
Well,
to
could you-
take over real quick.
I'm just looking at this. Like, could you imagine these guys in silver pants, like with that hair and all that?
No.
No,
Hey,
but
man.
all right. So like, I mean, damn, it's crazy. Like that picture is like almost 10 years ago. We're about to be 10 years in wrestling by next week. So yeah, that popped up in my memories on Facebook when we were at the gathering, actually. So I just made a little comment on Facebook and just jokingly said, look at these guys. How funny it would be if we told the story, because the story behind those NightWing tights is actually quite funny.
It is.
While we were, just getting our, feet wet and starting to, do matches by the spring of 2015, it was time to, get a new set of, wrestling tights. And the first set that we had before, it just wasn't really holding up. If you want to pull that picture up, Johnny.
It's the one of us in the red with our mother.
Yeah. So we made our debut in March 2015 WrestleMania weekend. And what you see right here, we have some red and silver tights, and we have the Robin vest with the hood. And we tried our best at the time to really play up and be, the Graysons, like in Batman, DC Comics. Those tights didn't last too long, and again, it was just time to put another order in and turn it up a notch. What you see right there, it looks a little too generic, and again, it just got to keep evolving, as we were told. So as the time came, we said, all right, let's play a little bit more into the NightWing character, because I think the New 52 was really big at that time in DC Comics. And NightWing, had a different color. Fans were liking his new look. He had, I think, red or something like that, and his original
Yeah, I think he
color
got
was
rebooted
blue.
with the red for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that was cool at the time. It was 2015, New 52. That was what DC was doing, and I think the Injustice game just came out. So again, DC was big, and we wanted to really play up into the Grayson character. So I'm freshman in college, about 18 years old, and my brother 20 years old, and just getting out of class, and been talking to the gear guy, just trying to figure out, all right, like how could we get these sets of tights before the weekend. We really need these. It's about to be long weekend on the road, and what we have is just not cutting it. It's just one tear away, because it already happened before. Just as simple as just bending over, getting changed in the locker room, and it just goes split right down the middle. So I'll let you take over.
All right. Well, in a nutshell, the gentleman who designs the gear is named Brawley. If you're from the Northeast, you know Brawley. You've gone and you've gotten a set of tights from Brawley. Brawley is also a wrestler. Brawley happens to be from, Johnny, a bad area in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which is also the location of a one movie called The Wrestler, which took place in Elizabeth, New Jersey. So to make a long story short, we receive an address to go and pick up our wrestling tights. As we pull up, it proceeds to be a strip club. We walk in, having never met Brawley, unaware of what he looks like or what we're even looking for, and there is a gentleman sitting at this gentleman's club, VIP, like the gentleman from Sopranos behind the register. I can't think of his name. And I proceed to walk up and say, is Jorge here? Because that's the name I'm given. And he goes, are you the Graysons? And we go, yes. And he proceeds to give us the gear in the bag over the handle. And right as I'm about to put my hand out and get the gear, what is to be lowered via a Tarzan rope, but a dildo.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
That story had a twist.
Pull up the picture of us again. Like, could you imagine again? 18. Well, all right, yeah. Still,
yes,
same.
There you go.
My mom would be saying at some point. Like, could you imagine just like showing up to the club? All you want to do is just get wrestling tights.
We're little kids. Justin's hardly old enough to even be in there, and all you see is just ass and titties and just You're a young kid coming to get your tights, and bam.
Oh wait, but you talking about? I mean, you know harm. So,
the only thing harmful is the story.
Spent like about. It felt like 30 minutes. We literally spent like 30 minutes, like just talking, brawly about like comics and other bullshit.
Feeling.
And then we just, looked at each other and we were like, well, you didn't come here for nothing. So, yeah.
Pork chop sandwiches.
You know where this is
Johnny.
You know where this is going.
That's
you guys
terrible.
Well, that's basically the story. We got lap dances, we got ripped off, and we were handed a dildo with wrestling tights.
And the BackSeat Boyz were born.
And
This
then
was all
2
before-
years later,
The Graysons.
It was all before OnlyFans.
These are the early threads for the BackSeat Boyz.
that's it, man.
Are you a real wrestler? For those of you who don't know, that's a Juggalo skit of Madrox prank calling either Shaggy or Jay. Help me out, Humble.
Oh yeah, fuck. What is that on?
Are
That's
you
like
a
on
real wrestler?
Wow, I haven't thought about that in a while. Holy shit! What is that on a Cryptic Collection or some shit?
Something like that.
Man, I haven't thought about that in a minute.
Damn, these sound effects though.
So I have a story.
Yeah, no, that's...
We had a fun weekend too. Should we talk about that, you guys, real quick?
Absolutely.
So we were at this thing. Check this out, Donnie and everybody.
Oh yeah.
Gotta let it play. All right. Does anyone know who plays that song? Who wrote that song? Whose song is that? I know it's from What's Happening, but who actually wrote it and plays it? Do you know?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
Is it the Temptations?
No. Henry Mancini and his orchestra.
Oh, really? I knew it was a big band orchestra. I just didn't know.
Yeah, Henry Mancini.
What a great
So
theme
we
song,
met,
bro.
We met Raj and we met Dwayne. Now, these are the
Hey,
guys,
hey,
hey. And when they would come into the restaurant, they would turn the chair around. Remember that, Donnie?
Yeah, I remember every second of every episode.
Right.
No Roger,
Exactly.
no rerun, no rent.
Exactly. So we got some pictures. I'm going to tell you a funny story. So here it is. So it was New Jersey Collectors Fest in Wayne, New Jersey at the Wayne Powell. We got to meet Ernest Thomas, who was Raj, and Haywood Nelson, who was Dwayne. Okay, here's a picture of all of us together. That's Raj on the left. That's me. That's Dwayne holding my title belt, the Trent Acid title. There's Robbie Marino, Robbie Illuminati, and there's Tommy Grayson. So, and they had a guy dressed up as Rerun. You guys know
so
who
awesome.
Rerun is? Well, I reached out to him. He's a cosplayer from New York. I'm trying to get him at our event on the 14th, just in case Charlie Tiger and Ruckus breaks into an impromptu dance-off. In case that happens, we're trying to get this guy there to sort of maybe judge it, host it, whatever. We'll see what happens.
The great
But-
Fred Berry.
All right, guys. So now I have a funny story for you.
Let's hear.
So we all know Robbie Illuminati, my brother, straight off the Sopranos set, just offends people, curses left and right. You saw what he did at the celebrity boxing press conference, pretty much got the friggin' place shut down. So he's here with us. All right. I take this picture, see him pointing at Haywood. All right. Robbie lulls people into a false sense of security. He gets them opening up about the politics in the 1970s on television. They say, hey, did anyone ever not treat you guys right? They say, well, you know what? Yeah, someone didn't treat us right. That POS Lamont Sanford didn't treat us right, right? So the son from Sanford and Son said some shit to them back in the day that they didn't like. Shit about that their show has higher ratings than theirs because it's a white person show. So right. So Robbie tells these guys, what? They go, yeah, and the dude from Sanford and Son has his own podcast today. Apparently, he's still around, still has a podcast. Robbie says, well, we're also affiliated with Celebrity Boxing, guys. We'll get him there and we'll beat the shit out of him. All right. Donnie, are you paying attention?
You realize that man's name is Demond Wilson and he's 77 years old, right?
Donnie, are you ready to see what he looks like today?
Yeah. Oh, whoa!
shit.
Does he have no legs?
What?
No legs. No legs. Hosts his own podcast. This man is probably a living saint and like representative of courage and keep going and blah blah blah. And my brother Robbie
Wants
is
to fight
trying to
him.
put a hit out on him through Damon's celebrity boxing.
Now, keep in mind, Mr. Damon Wilson is 77 years old. The picture that you just showed with you, Raj, and all them,
Yep.
might I remind you, Ernest Thomas is 75 years old. And look how
Jeez.
incredible he looks there, dude. He's
Well, we had him-
75 years old.
We had
He
him
looks like
sign
$1
this
million
for
bucks.
you.
That's
That's him.
when God calls me home and you guys come pay homage to me in my casket, that's going to be in the casket with me. I just want to let you know that.
Well, we pretty
That's
much pay
going up to the
homage to
heavenly
you
gates.
every week. Yeah.
Thank you.
You
That
get
really
homage
is one of
a
my
lot.
prized possessions. I'm not a big materialistic guy, but that's one of my prized possessions.
Well,
Right.
I'm happy to hear that it's because of us you have something that you could go to the grave with
I will.
as recent
Amongst
as Sunday.
many things. Yes.
Amongst many things.
Yes. I'll bring my Phil Stamper action figure with me too if I ever get one.
It's a good looking.
Yes, Ginger. Yes, Ginger. You read a reference to the movie Kids. I have no.
Someone's got a. We need an action figure to face the GILLBERG action figure, Donnie. So the Phil one is as good as any, I
That's
guess.
right.
Yeah. Phil, how's your leg, by the way?
Going well. Had another round of PT today. All the fun things. It's progressing. It's just taking its time.
Good deal. Good deal.
Right on. Right on. All right,
So
guys. We're
what,
about
19 minutes.
Yep. Well, actually, on YouTube, it says 18 minutes. I got it up on my screen. I got it queued up. To everyone who doesn't, make sure you go on SPO Wrestling YouTube and queue up Trip TV Episode 6. You're going to see the 3 stages of death between the backseats and the rep JCW SPO tag titles on the line. You're also going to see exclusive Gathering of the Juggalo footage, such as Humble Among and myself viewing the rocket
Butt
farts,
rocket.
the butt rockets, the butt rockets. You're also going to see another round of Juggalo cards, and you're going to see an exclusive cut of Gathering with Gotch. That had to be super edited because JP Grayson and myself can't figure out these lavalier microphones. But nonetheless, check out Trip TV Episode 6, the season finale. We don't know what's going on with Trip TV in the future. It might continue, it might not. You never know, but you'll have to stay tuned.
Nice. I got thank you, Mitch Stein. There's the YouTube link. It's in the
thank
chat
you.
if anyone needs it.
Hell yeah, Mitch. Shouts
so
out
guys,
to Mitch Stein.
I just want to show you guys something real quick. I'm calling another summit. Back in Pro Wrestling Unplugged, I called a summit. I don't really remember what it was about, but we're calling one. So here it is. So the OG Summit, it's called. So I'm calling all OGs. If you're out there, if you can hear me, if you know an OG, if you live near an OG, if you work near an OG, let that OG know that they are wanted in SPO Wrestling on the 14th. And it's very important. And we need to see them in the ring. So what do you guys think of that? Good?
Awesome.
Oh, I love it, bro.
Good.
We
But
need
we know the
all
really
OGs.
big news. The really big news coming out of it is this for November 2nd.
I broke the internet.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Johnny,
Johnny can't even do that.
you broke the internet, Johnny.
Johnny.
Yes. Literally broke the internet. Literally. And then here's what we announced today, you guys. Todd Gordon makes his debut.
Very interesting.
I know. Don, you realize like everyone that's ever like given a shit about me or the backseats and helped us is going to be at that casino at it's gonna
It's
be-
crazy, man. It's gonna be a fun night, dude.
Right. It is, man. It really is. I can't wait. But to have Todd there, I'm just I'm still amazed that this is even happening, and I can't wait to see what happens as we put our heads together trying to collab going into it. So this will be good stuff. And we already announced Simon Gotch will be there, and he's actually going to be running a seminar too. So guys, there's a Simon Gotch seminar. If you're a wrestler, if you're a training, if you're thinking about getting into it, whatever, there's something for everyone. Just email bookingsimon@yahoo.com. And it's $30 if you pay in advance, $40 if you show up. It's November 2nd at Harris Casino at 12:30 p.m. And guys, I've learned a lot. The backseats have learned a lot. If you're out there and you want to learn a lot, this is the guy to learn a lot from. So,
yeah,
And,
very happy to have him.
Johnny, if I might add, I will be personally sponsoring 3 people for that seminar. I will send Johnny whoever the money for it, $30 a person. I will allow this show whoever to pick out 3 young boys or girls, whoever they deem worthy of an opportunity that might be a little down on their luck. I will make the necessary arrangements, and I will pay for 3 individuals to go to that seminar. And Johnny, you guys can pick who it is, whatever you want to, however you want to do it. That's up to you guys. You can do the vetting process, but I will pay for 3 individuals to go to that.
That's
Wow.
awesome. That's
All right.
seriously
It is
awesome.
awesome. And
Thank
2
you.
people will be chosen. Whoever, we're going to go up to Simon at the end. We're going to say, look, are there any standouts? And if he says yes, this one and this one, or this one, whatever, they're going to be asked to have a spot on the event that night to wrestle. So we're trying to give opportunities. We're not trying to rip anyone off. We're trying to give bang for your buck. And you never, like you said, Donnie, like you taught me, like Todd taught me, like Gary taught me, you don't work the boys. You don't try to make money off the boys. You try to help the boys. And that's what we're doing here. This helps everybody, puts a little money in Gotch's pocket. And it helps people learn, because he's the guy that taught us about the whole advocate theory in WWE. Donnie, you've been in the business how long? And that's a new theory.
I
to
had
you,
never
something
heard
you've
of that,
adopted.
and it's one of the smartest things I ever heard anybody say is that they didn't spend enough time building advocates when they were in WWE, so they could get people to speak on their behalf behind the scenes. I thought that was one of the most brilliant things anyone's ever said in the business. Yep. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
There you go.
No. I mean, Simon is one of those dudes. Anytime you're around him, he's always going to be dropping knowledge, even if it's not necessarily about wrestling or the current business. He's going to be dropping some sort of life information. I've spoken to Simon about a lot of, really just outside of wrestling personal things. And let me tell you, he's helped me through, just a lot of problem solving moments, over this last year, just on a personal level. He's very, very intuitive, and he's got a mind for just philosophy in general. So if Donnie B is sponsoring 3 people and 3 people #want it, then I would say that this is literally the equivalent of cookies being handed to you on a silver platter. Take it. So that's all I'm going to say.
Actually, one of them, Phil, find somebody from Maryland Champion down in your way, a young boy or something that wants to be part of this, and one of them will be from your neck of the woods. You pick him.
Yeah.
I'd love it. And I'm going to say for all younger talent out there, learn the fact that you have to drive somewhere in wrestling, not just in your 20 miles.
That's exactly why I just said it.
Get out there and do it. I encourage everybody to do it. You should be there. I don't care where you're from or what part of the country you're from. You should come out for this.
Phil, you could probably find a young boy that'll pay. You say to the young boy, it's only $20. And then he'll give you the 20. Donnie will give you the 30, and you still made $10 off it. So let's see you do stuff like that.
I don't like your allegations, sir.
Yeah.
You know it.
So
You already.
sounds good to me.
That's how it's got to happen.
Before
I had a
we
great
get
time
out
to
of
talk
here, guys. Yeah, go ahead. You pick it. Phil, you find somebody from down there for one of them.
Gotcha. I was going to say I had
That's
a
nice.
chance to talk with Simon Gotch this weekend, and he was great. He checked in on my knee. He was asking me about stuff. I mean, it was a great conversation.
Yeah, man. He's
That's
a good
awesome.
dude. And the ACL.
I could listen to him talk for hours. I mean, like when we're in the locker room, in the car traveling, I can just sit there and listen to him. If you go to the seminar, you will learn in and out of the ring. Like, he is a world of knowledge. He knows what the hell he's talking about, and he is scientific. He is technical. He knows what he's doing in the ring.
Yep. And guys, so we're about 10 minutes roughly from the season 1, possibly series finale. We don't know of Trip TV. But before, I don't want to forget this. We have a special guest next week, guys. You want to tell us who it is?
Yeah. It's the current or the first ever JCW
Oh,
American
shit.
champion, the Obsession, Caleb Conley.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Caleb
He
Conley.
was at the gathering. Did you get to see him, Humble Among? Did you see him?
Oh yeah, I
wrestle at
saw
all?
him both. I saw him both nights. Very fucking hilarious. I am a big fan of his work. He said something to Whoop. Oh, I wish I could remember how he said it, but he said so. Oh, he said something that was cracking me up, man. He said something that really cracked me up. But I'm a big fan of his work. He definitely impressed me both of the nights. What's that?
Yeah,
He said
man.
something when he was getting back in the ring though, about something about the ropes. Do you remember that? Oh, he said something that really fucking cracked me up though.
We'll have to be on standby for this comment, but I mean, since we're on the topic and since we're about 9 minutes out, let's talk JCW, Humble. Based on your, knowledge of the previous JCW and, what you saw live up close and in person, was this your first time? Obviously you've been to the gathering before, but, just give me your feedback. I want to hear.
So I've seen a little bit of the wrestling at every gathering I've gone to. This was the first time I've sat down for full fucking shows though, and like caught it from beginning to end. So here's my thing. You can tell, and Jay cut this promo on the second night, that you can tell Jay's passion is with JCW. He said it a couple of times at the gathering actually, but you can really tell because he's fucking killing it with it. Like it looks amazing. I can't wait to see those episodes of Lunacy, those 8 episodes that are apparently finished and just sitting on a YouTube channel somewhere. I can't wait to see those motherfuckers because it looks amazing. I was so impressed with the shit. Like, so for example, a couple years back, they did something called the Hootenanny Hoedown down in West Virginia, right? And they did a gimmick that was pretty fun where they had like shitty ass, old school thick hemp rope set for the wrestling ring and shit. And it was fun for what it is, but it was kind of like, you could tell it was almost an afterthought. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's been what JCW was for a little bit, almost an afterthought. Now it seems like it's really to the forefront. You can tell Jay's putting a lot of attention into it. And it's fucking great. Like it's some of the best pro wrestling I've seen at all recently. I mean, we just watched GCW the other night. The homecoming shit. It was a good show, but I had so much fun watching the 2 JCW shows over the GCW show. I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to see more of it. And with the weekly stuff coming, man, it's going to be a really interesting thing to see how big this can get, because I think there's a lot of potential for JCW to get fucking huge and actually become a force in the independent wrestling circuit.
Yep.
And I think that might be what Jay's going for.
That's exactly what he's going for, man. I don't know if you caught the seminar that they did on Saturday, but even just based upon this year's lineup alone, you could tell that wrestling is important to Jay and that he's pushing it hard, just as hard, if not, harder than, any of the music acts. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more ICP/JCW events, whereas, maybe he had wanted to separate them beforehand, but I think the 2 biggest focuses on Psychopathic right now are going to be ICP and JCW, because that's what people are coming out to see. Fans are loving the JCW, and they will come out if the Wicked Clowns perform. He knows his audience. They know their audience, I should say.
And Humble Among too, Violent J inspires a certain loyalty. These guys are defending the Juggalo titles everywhere they go. They're holding them up in front of the cameras and letting people know these are the belts that matter. These are the belts that we've wanted our entire lives. That's the kind of things. Caleb Conley, same way. Willie Mack, same way. These guys are Juggalos first, and then JCW wrestlers second. So there's a whole different motivation inside these guys' hearts when they wrestle for JCW. And Violent J's been able to tap into that. And he even recognizes my Trent Acid title. So every time I hold that up now, there's a part of JCW inside of that belt. And I bled to get that title, So JCW is something that has worked its way into my heart, worked its way into their heart before they even met me. If anything, I'm JCW because these guys infected me with it, honestly. And now it's just taken over. It's like I don't want to say it's a cancer because a cancer is negative, but it's taken over my whole body, and now I'm a juggalo and proud to be. Yeah.
It's
Shouts out to the
fungus.
homie. Shouts out to the homie Kosuke. R.I.P. Trent,
shouts out to
Trent
Kosuke.
motherfucking acid. You know, yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Nice. Well,
Yeah,
boys,
I
as
mean-
we almost wrap this show up, I do think we should take a second to acknowledge the passing of an individual this week that I knew pretty well.
Yes, sir.
Actually, yesterday it was reported that Psycho Sid Justice, Sid Udy had passed away after a battle with cancer. And I just want to say, you know, I hadn't talked to him in a long, long time, but he used to work the shows for Dennis Carluzzo. Everybody knows the story. I had him on my first show. Unfortunately, he couldn't make that one. But as we've been talking the last couple days on the internet, it's all over the place again. Sid Vicious versus Rick Ratchet. The match that literally is still to this day the coolest thing that ever happened in independent wrestling. Sid, barely a year removed from the main event of fucking WrestleMania 13, came to a little podunk town in Wayne, New Jersey, and took it upon himself, called an audible, wrestled Rick Ratchet in the ring, and put Ratchet over in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. So imagine if Roman Reigns or Cody or Seth or somebody next year, a year removed from the Mania main event they just had, would do the same thing for an independent wrestler. That was the magnitude of what happened. And I remember the story. And he was just a pleasure to deal with on all the shows for Dennis. And my heart goes out to him. He seems to have found peace later on. I wish that he would have been put in the WWE Hall of Fame while he was still alive. He wanted it really bad. He deserved it. To this day, I think, in my opinion, the most physically impressive athlete. I know a lot of people think it's Brock, but to me, I think the most physically impressive specimen. If the aliens 1,000 years from now said, what did a professional wrestler look like back in 1997 or whatever in the United States of America, it would be Sid Vicious. One of the greatest looks of all time, and did a few things, but did them well. So my heart goes out to his entire family. I know, Johnny, you probably did some events with him. I don't know about JP and Tommy, but Phil, I think you did at least. Yeah.
No.
Just
I
an
didn't.
awesome dude all around. Pleasure to be. Never big leagued anybody. I actually saw him go into his own pocket on a few events and pay a little extra money to some of the young guys who got power bombed and choke slammed just because they went up for him and made him look good. Never told anybody about it. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. So
I had a
God
chance
bless
to
you,
hang out
Sid.
with
May
him.
you rest in peace.
I had a chance to hang out with him, and he wrestled. He put over Scorpio for our PW title at the ECW arena. Did great business. Huge guy. Donnie, when he would come out on WWE, his black vest would sit up off his shoulders because of how big his traps were. Do you remember that?
Of course, dude. He was the most physically impressive human being ever in professional wrestling.
Yeah,
I don't care. Brock could be second. It's Sid. Dude, Sid was awesome, dude.
Sid was around for the boom. Brock was around post boom. So by standard alone, you know, Sid swam with the sharks. Brock was the shark.
Yeah.
Right. And since we didn't have a show last week due to technical difficulties, we didn't get to mention Afa also, and the whole Anawahi family. You know, our heart goes out to him. Afa ate at my dinner table, Donnie, and in the home I grew up on when I was 19. So our heart goes out to all of them and what they're going through. Blessings and love and respect to everyone. Afa Jr., Samu, all of you, Lance, God bless you all. So
our heart is with anyone right now that is suffering or, you know, grieving the loss of a loved one. You know, I can't imagine.
The circle of life, my friends.
Yep.
Well, Humble
God bless
Among,
you all.
we were so glad to have you here, Humble Among. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
We'd like to make it at least a semi regular thing. You know,
I would love to. I would love to come back and talk some more wrestling stuff or whatever. Anything, honestly.
And
we'll have you back
podcast
on here.
Yes.
And we're going to have you guys, I think, on the Humble Among broadcast system here really soon. I believe in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
That'd be awesome.
September 8th, we spoke. It's already locked in.
September
We're going to be
8th,
on Humble
We're
Along.
going to be doing a special interview with the BackSeat Boyz on the Humble Among broadcast system. By the way, make sure if you came here for me, make sure you hit the like and subscribe gimmick on this shit, and go to the SPO wrestling page where this Trip TV episode 6 is about to premiere, and hit the like and subscribe gimmick on that shit too.
Produced by the Backseats. Produced by Juggalos for Juggalos. So check it out, everybody. Thank you all for watching.
It's about to air right now. Everyone tune into Trip TV.
You're welcome.